Hello everybody and welcome back to Perjury. Today we are starting the second case, which I do not know the name of yet. I think all of the cases have it's word and perjury at the end. Like the last one was beginnings and perjury, so we'll see what this one is called. Case 2. Conspiracy and perjury. After solving the mystery behind the robbery, we left for the Eubank estate to find out why Miss Lear was attacked. All the while, my new detective friend was telling me the details of how he found Miss Yore. We arrived just as he finished. April 16th, 12:20 p.m., Azura City, outside the Eubank estate. And then I brought her to the interrogation room before you joined the fun. You know the rest. We left that room with Hannah claiming we were awful people. I wouldn't consider any of that fun. Regardless, it's all the more reason for us to prove her innocence. Then, you attacked Chandra. It couldn't have possibly been the Eubank family, right? I have a few ideas, but a good detective avoids becoming tunnel-visioned. It's important to have a fresh perspective on things. And that's where I come in. Precisely. You got you on quick. So, what do we do now? Now comes the fun part of being a detective. Investigating. Seeing as this is your first investigation, would you like me to run you through the basics? Alright, it's pretty simple. Each time we come across an area to examine, we have a few different options. The first option is to look around for clues. We can investigate the immediate area for any details that stick out. Doing so is the best way for us to find evidence, which we can then use in our investigation. Second, we may come across witnesses. When we do so, it's important for us to collect their statement. This is similar to what suspects give during interrogations, but this time we simply take their words and write them down for later. You might find that some witnesses aren't entirely truthful in their statements. When this happens, we can review their statement and point out the contradiction, just like we do in the interrogation room. Not everyone will have a flaw in their statement, however, so don't go running around accusing people without a reason. In addition to their statements, we can also just talk to the witnesses. Doing so is another good way to uncover information. Finally, once we're ready to move on, we can travel to another area. We have free reign of the house, so we can move around as we'd like. Whenever you want to talk to me, we can move back here. I'll have more to say as the case unfolds. Come back here every once in a while to hear more. Now then, let's get started. New lead out of the case file. You can now track your current leads to the summary section of the case file. Talk. I'm still not sure about Hannah's story. Why would the Eubanks want to steal charity money? I can think of a number of reasons. I'm sure she's telling the truth. Whatever happened to she lied once already, we have to take the rest with a grain of salt. That was Detective Hunt speaking. Ernest Hunt says she's innocent. But don't you have your doubts? Yeah, I have my doubts. Still, I believe her. I don't think any actor could fake the anger she had. It did feel real. It would be so much easier if this was all an accident. Blame it on bad luck. Oh, this is Hunt's theme. Okay. I see an open window up there. Why would you want to keep the window open on such a cool day? We'll have to take a closer look at it once we're inside. Oh. For a wealthy family, this house seems less grand than I expected. What did you expect? A luxurious palace the size of a stadium? Home prices are already going up far faster than most wages. This is still prime real estate. At least they keep their home modest rather than driving up the prices even further.
I suppose so. So, how was my driving?
You never drove above the speed limit. You even dipped 5 below on the freeway.
I was driving a police car. I had to set a good example.
You know, studies show that slower drivers cause more accidents than faster ones.
Really? Guess I'll look that up later.
Alright. Can I not present my badge to you? Oh, talk. No, I want to present my badge. No, my ID. Oh yeah, I do want to. Profiles. Who do I have? I have these guys.
If we don't find who attacked Chandra, she'll be pinned with that too. Chandra's friend and would-be thief. She's currently facing charges for yesterday's robbery.
Okay. Oh, we don't have a brief yet.
Detective Hunt and I arrived at the Eubank estate, where we began our investigation. While looking around outside the estate, we noticed an open window on the second floor. Something to look into.
Investigate the foyer and investigate the open window on the second floor. Okay. I couldn't. Okay, that was weird. April 16th. House foyer.
Wow, this place is much more impressive on the inside.
Don't get too distracted by the lines dead before meeting the line itself. I
prefer a humming's bird nest myself. After all, they represent optimism and playfulness, traits that we all use in our lives. I see you brought a new guest. Welcome to my home. I'm Ferris Eubank. Oh, hi, I'm Justina Smith. It's a pleasure to meet you. My, you're quite nervous. Some tea should calm those nerves. Care for a cup? No, I would hate to impose. Now, you're a guest in my home. I simply must offer you a drink. Then let's save the cup until after we're finished. Fair enough. Now, to what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Profiles. Yeah, that's Ferris Eubank.
Age 33. Birthday April 20th. Occupation lawyer. Location foyer. Mrs. Eubank herself. She's very optimistic and welcoming. I only met her today, but my parents met her about a decade ago.
Oh.
I thought you caught the thief earlier this morning.
Ferris Eubank, flavor and grace. We did. That kiss is already wrapped up with a shiny bow. We heard about the attack on your maid, Miss Lear.
Why, I can still hardly believe that Chandra was attacked. Just this morning she was getting my tea ready, and before I knew it, the police were here. I hope for her sake you can
Oh. Your tea's on fire, ma'am.
You can lock away that wicked thief for what she did. What exactly is in that tea?
Your cooperation in this matter is greatly appreciated.
Of course, I'll help in any way I can.
In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions. Can you tell me where you were when Miss Lear was attacked?
Let me think. Statement. This morning I was having breakfast in the dining room with the rest of the family. After my husband finished eating, I stayed by myself in the dining room. We adopted a stray cat yesterday, and so I was feeding him. I was there the whole time until the police came. I believe it was shortly after that when Chandra was found.
I think a vaguely British accent works for her. Ferris's statement. Ferris was in the dining room by herself until the police came. She claims she was there feeding the family's cat. Okay, recording the case file. We can now access collected witnesses' statements to the summary menu of the case file.
Can anyone verify your whereabouts? Not a soul. I'm afraid. I suppose that makes me a suspect. Of course not. You don't have a motive. We only wanted to know where you were. Your partner here seems to have a different idea.
Guilty as charged. Here's a tip, Miss Assistant. Lack of motive does not mean lack of guilt.
Chandra's family, Detective. We would never hurt her.
Then you should have no issue with us looking around to confirm that.
Well, you're free to look around. After all, you already caught the thief. What's with his... No, what's with his attitude? I should have a talk with him outside. Mrs. Eubank? Please, dear, call me Ferris. Ferris? Could you tell me about Eubank Investments? It's an investment firm that our family runs. We provide the funds to transform empty land into beautiful destinations. My husband is the founder and the CEO. I run the legal department. The whole legal department? Wow. It's hardly that impressive. A single cup of oolong tea is far more complex than anything I do.
Don't let her modesty fool you, Miss Assistant. Eubank Investments has dealings all around Azure City and beyond. It would be impossible for them not to run into a lot of legal issues.
I bet you're the life of the party, Detective.
Well, you don't get the detective on good looks alone. Anyway, it was her who secured the company's first major property development. That success led the company to where it is today.
No need to flatter me, Detective. After all, my husband did all the planning. I just carried out his plans. Excuse me, when was that major investment exactly? I believe it was about a decade ago. I see. I never thought I'd be meeting Mrs. Eubank. To think all of that happened 10 years ago. Are you doing alright, dear? If you're feeling tired, perhaps some tea would help. Huh? Oh, no, sorry. I was just thinking. I'll keep my past to myself. If you're hungry, feel free to help yourself to the kitchen. Some delicious food might ease that mind of yours.
We should be heading to the crime scene. We have an investigation to conduct.
Now travel to the kitchen of the crime scene. I should pay both places a visit. New lead. I should go for a statement. Yeah, this morning. If I wanna. Okay. I hate that I can't present. I met Miss Eubank. That should be Mrs. Eubank in the foyer. She claims to have been in the dining room during the assault. What's next, lead? Oh, I gotta go to the investigate kitchen and crime scene. Plants. Those are some lovely plants. Do you mean the Plantanic brothers? They have names? Why, they're valuable members of our home. Nothing makes you feel more invited than being greeted by the Plantanic brothers. Then why keep them in the corners? Even plants can be shy. They get frightened easily.
It's because those plants are partial shade plants. They can only take so much sunlight.
You're no fun, Detective. Those paintings.
Is something wrong?
These paintings are so uninspired. The palette is so completely dull. What's the point of painting something without any soul or creativity? Art is more than just pictures to put on a wall.
I didn't know you had such strong art opinions.
Think my parents, they're artists. Staring at art is just second nature to me. Sorry for the rants. I know it's weird.
Okay. It's not weird at all. A good detective can walk into a room and pinpoint whatever stands out. Do want to see? Yeah. Okay. It just means you have a good pair of eyes.
That's quite the window. Oh, I just love all the light it lets in. It makes our home feel so alive.
It's a bit too grand if you ask me. All that light must be blinding from the stairs.
A brighter world is never a bad thing, Detective. Hey, man. Hey, man. You know, you could have been nicer to our host.
She's a suspect in an attempted murder. I was only being fair. If I go easy on her, she might take advantage of that kindness.
I understand that, but you took it way too far. We shouldn't treat every potential suspect like criminals.
I know you mean well, but you haven't met the people I have. We can't afford any risks.
Sounds like there's a story there.
There is, but that's for another day.
I'll hold you to that. But no, it's not.
Why did it do that?
Oh, it doesn't matter which one first. April 16th, crime scene. It's strange how familiar this room is now.
Imagine how I feel, coming and going from this room so often. To be paying rent at this point.
You have to sell everything you own to avoid rent in a place like this. Hold on.
Alright, sorry about that. Who's that?
This is...
What fucking voice do I give you?
This is an active crime scene. Civilians can't just wander around here.
Perfect timing. I was wondering where you were.
Fred! Welcome back.
Sophie Swift, on the move.
I see you brought a guest.
Miss Assistant, let me introduce you to the lead detective, Sophie Swift.
Nice to meet ya. Wait, what do you mean lead detective? I thought you were in charge.
Profiles.
Sophie Swift. Age 25, birthday October 29th. Occupation detective. A homicide detective at Azure City's 5th Police Precinct. She's very energetic and doesn't really strike me as the detective sort. Nevertheless, she's the one actually in charge of the case. Fred handles robberies. I'm the one who handles homicide and attempts at homicide. You must be Justina Smith, correct? Wait, how do you know that? I have it written right here. Justina Smith, a clerk working under Sue P. Earle. The lieutenant told us about you last week. He showed us the picture and everything. Wait, how come Detective Hunt didn't know me?
Why? Would you look at the time? I really ought to be going.
You forgot, didn't you?
Keen as ever, I see.
Is he always like this? For as long as I've known him. He has a good heart, though. Anyways, Sue told me you got a confession from the killer.
We got a confession for the robbery, but she didn't attack Chandra. Justina here couldn't bear to see an innocent person accused like that and begged me to bring her here.
Hey, don't listen to him! Well, since you're here, let me give you the rundown.
Statement.
Around 8 o'clock this morning, Miss Lear left a voicemail for Red that seemed to be cut off abruptly. It sounded like someone had attacked her. I was sent over to investigate. I got here at about 10 past 8. Mrs. Eubank greeted me on my... Hold on. Sorry. Mrs. Eubank greeted me on my arrival, and we headed towards the trophy room, where we believed Chandra may have been. The door was locked tight, so I had to force it open. Chandra was inside, unconscious. She had clearly been attacked. I confirmed she was still alive before we transported her to the hospital. I see. So, what was the weapon? We haven't found one yet. I was told that she had been hit on the back of the head with a flat and blunt object. We know it must have had blood on it, given the injury. But everything we've tested for has come back negative for blood. So, we believe the culprit must have taken the weapon with them. I have the medical report right here. Take a look at it.
What's this song? That's still these? Okay.
Medical report. A report from the hospital Sheandra is being treated at. She suffered a single blunt force wound to the back of the head from a flat object. There are no other injuries present. What if it's still in the house? Shouldn't you just test everything?
Not without a reasonable suspicion or a warrant. It'd be ruled as inadmissible and thrown out otherwise. Right now we only have grounds to test what's around the crime scene.
Guess that makes sense. Does make things harder though.
It's a necessary evil. So for now, let's just investigate this room. We might find something.
Let me know if you have any questions. Took me 20 minutes to drive here. How did you get here so fast? Believe it or not, I'm the fastest member of the force. If criminals think they can outrun the law, they haven't met Zephyr. Zephyr? That's my ride. Just a standard issue motorcycle with some custom upgrades. I know all the ins and outs of the city. Trust me, whenever there's a murder, I'm the first one there. Good to know. So why is Hannah the prime suspect in this? I don't see anyone that ties back to her. I don't see anything that ties back to her. Well, there isn't anything direct. But given how the body was found, our best assumption is that the thief had to have returned. We talked to the captain. He doesn't want us going after the Eubanks. The Eubanks have a lot of sway in the city, unless we have ironclad proof. Let's just say the fallout would be enormous. Got it. Hold on. There. I certainly hate to get on their bad side. So, with nothing else to go on, our best guess remains the thief. That's awful. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Is this your thing?
No. Investigation, it takes two. Hey, that's a video game. That only applies in a court of law. The police have much simpler priorities when making an arrest. So until we find the true culprit, Miss Yours the prime suspect. Why the long face? We're to prove her innocence. Our system isn't perfect, but it'll work out in the end.
Far from perfect. Surprised you don't mind us hijacking your investigation. Red may seem a bit absent-minded, but he's dedicated to the core. Even if I tried to stop him, he'd still worm his way into this. Besides, he's a better detective. If anyone can solve this case, it's him. But this is your case. Don't you want to be the one to solve it? Well, Red has his quirks, but unlike me, he has the actual brains to back it up. I'd only get in the way, so guarding the crime scene is the best I can do. I got promoted to detective last month because I gave the most speeding tickets. Not for my investigation skills. That's a... What the fuck? Okay. That was weird. I give those speeding tickets not for my... Oh yeah, that's a very bad reason to promote you. The internet just wants me as an example to the other officers. Incentive to issue more tickets. So he recommended me to the captain, and that's how I got here. Don't put yourself down. I'm sure you're a great detective. We all have our skills. I drive fast, and Red finds criminals. I accept that. Well, I haven't. You've been here all morning. You must have uncovered something. Well, there is one thing. The order of when everyone arrived here. First was Mrs. Eubank. She greeted me at the door and let me here. Then the chief came up. He had a chief chef came up. He had a frying pan, so I figured to hear her the kitchen. After that, Mr. Eubank claimed to have heard a sound and rushed downstairs. See? You have a detective's attention to detail. But that's not all. Mr. Eubank's statement is important. Why's that? Well, if he had heard the thud, he must have been close to the crime scene, right? So, I think he must have been in the room upstairs. What's above this room? The victim's bedroom. That can't be a coincidence! Let's go investigate that room. I couldn't find anything when I looked. But you two might be luckier.
Then try again. A second look might be all you need.
long have you been listening?
Sounds about 11 sentences ago. You found the clue. You should find the proof. I'll stay in and watch the scene.
You should go. You're way better than me at this.
Take my assistant with you. I taught her everything, so it'll be like I'm there in spirit.
Like I needed your help to look at an object and comment on it. Sure, I'll go with you. I want to be there when you find the proof. Alright, let's do it. But only for the bedroom. I'm leaving the rest of the house to Red. Once you're done collecting evidence, just head to her room. I'll meet you there. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. I'm not a fan of this rug. It doesn't match the carpet at all. It needs more color variety. Green and purple would help it pop more. But it's super fluffy. What I would give to be a cat and just roll around without a care.
It looks fine to me.
Says the man who looks like a walking lobster. Be nice. Be nice. Working really hard. He's been working really hard to infiltrate the crustacean smuggler's ring. You're right. I was being too crabby.
When this is over, I'm going shopping for new clothes.
Detective, it's a safe from this morning.
You mean yesterday? You only saw it this morning when we tape recorded yesterday.
This time is just an excuse to display power over others. I read about it this morning, therefore it only existed since then.
We also met this morning, so have I only existed since this morning?
Yes. Detective, it's the safe from yesterday.
It doesn't seem to be very relevant to our current case, so let's leave it alone.
What's this? Looks like a wet white bedsheet, but it's covered in a bunch of dirt and grass. Detective Swift, do you know what this is? No idea. It was there when we secured the room. Whoever left it there must have been in a hurry. Well, Chandra was in here. Maybe she was planning on cleaning it when she got attacked? But there's no bed in here, or anything for washing sheets. How did it get this dirty? Strange. I'll record it for later.
Bedsheet. A white bedsheet covered in dirt. It was found stuffed inside a drawer in the trophy room.
I wonder what's in here. Looks like a landline, but it's covered in hair? It's cat fur. Red found some yesterday. Cat fur. Are you saying there was a cat in here? Not just any cat, an orange and white Siamese cat.
Given how fresh the fur was, I'd say it was shed. It was shed no more than an hour before it was discovered.
Hold on.
I asked Mr. Eubank about it, and she said it's from the family cat.
Really? None of that was in their police report. Why leave it out?
Okay. Okay, I guess. Really?
What?
Oh, I brought it up to the lieutenant, but it was dismissed as irrelevant. He said, "What are you supposed to do? Claim the cat as a witness and request testimony?"
Yeah, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Cats do make for poor witnesses. As for the phone, we believe this phone was used to call the police this morning. We're not sure how it ended up here. Perhaps the thief tried to hide it. I'll take note of both. Trophy room cabinet. A storage cabinet found in the trophy room. There were small traces of orange cat fur inside, which were left on the day of the robbery. Trophy room telephone. A telephone found stuffed inside a cabinet in the trophy room. It's been disconnected. Who keeps a single yellow dress hung up like this? Mrs. Eubank says it's what she wears when watching her husband play golf. She says it's easier to find when it's next to the golf clubs.
I'm surprised you wouldn't wear something fancier.
She can afford whatever outfit she wants, but she goes for tacky yellow. It's simple and elegant, like her personality. You need a better eye for fashion, Red. There's more to style than just throwing on whatever.
I'm a simple man. All I need is something that fits me.
There's some golf clubs over here. How strange. This blue one has had its head polished, but not the rest of it. I guess Chandra was cleaning it when she got attacked. That's what we thought, but there's nothing in here for cleaning a golf club with. Hold on. According to the Eubanks, after delivering breakfast, Chandra was asked to clean the blue one. Is there a golf tournament coming up? Maybe Mr. Eubank will use it here? There? Then, why would he want this one cleaned? These clubs are just for show. What do you mean? He keeps his real clubs in his room. These three are his lucky clubs. These three are more to show off claims he carried them to a few tournaments he won. Strange. Why would he want just one clean then? I didn't ask him.
Don't worry about it. If it's connected to this case, we can ask him later.
Do you think any of these clubs could have been the weapon?
We tested them for blood, but they came back negative. I'll add this to the evidence. One of Owen's lucky golf clubs. Although Chandra had been asked to clean them, this one is still partially dirty, tested negative for blood.
Oh, lead completed. According to this trophy, Mr. Eubank got first place at a golf tournament recently.
Apparently, he's won plenty of trophies in the past. One magazine said, a true visionary. When his company's stock goes up, his golf scores go down. Isn't a low score bad?
Isn't a low score bad?
Golf is about getting the ball into a hole with the least number of swings, so low score is best.
If he's so great, why display only one trophy?
You make a good point. Unless he has another room. This room is unusually bare given its previous record.
So the culprit came in through this window, huh? Given that the door was locked, they would have had to leave through it as well. But then, why would they close the window? Surely a thief escaping in a hurry wouldn't put in the effort to close it. It does seem odd, but it was closed when we got here. Whoever attacked Chandra must have closed it. Around April 16th, around 8 o'clock this morning, Miss Lear left a voicemail for Red that seemed to be cut off abruptly. It sounded like someone had attacked her. I was sent over to investigate. I got here at about 10 past 8. Mrs. Eubank agreed to... Uh, Mrs. Eubank greeted me on my arrival, and we headed toward the trophy room, where we believed Chandra may have been. When we tried to get in, the door was locked. I had to force it open. Miss Lear was inside unconscious. She had clearly been attacked. I confirmed she was still alive before we transported her to the hospital. Detective Sophie Swift. Okay, got 2 things. That's a lot. Okay, I might not read those. April 16th, 12:20 p.m. Bedroom. Welcome to Chandra's bedroom. Are we really in the same house? This room is a bit bland. Maybe she prefers being minimalist. That or the Eubanks don't pay her enough. Either way, a modest room makes our lives easier. Seems somebody is here right now. No, wrong thing. Cat fur. So much cat fur around this wardrobe. Cats tend to shed more during the spring to prepare for the summer heat. Given that it's April, this amount of fur is normal. Sorry. Cats know no bounds. Cats know no bounds. Cat's fur. The Eubanks cat leaves a prominent trail of shed fur wherever it goes. A bunch was clumped around Chandra's wardrobe. Let's check this chest for clues. You mean this dresser for clues? Clues? No, it has drawers that you pull, so it's a chest of drawers. Dressers are short and wide, while chests of drawers are tall and narrow. This is short and wide, therefore it's a dresser. Is this really that important? Let's just look inside. There's some golf club cleaner and what looks like a camera? Why would there be a camera in here? The insides seem broken. Judging by the dust, I'd say it was hidden away on top of the wardrobe. Some of the parts have fresh club cleaner on it. So whoever put it here must have been using the club cleaner? But why is it broken? The scratches on it means it must have hit the floor pretty hard. That would have been enough to break it. With the fresh club cleaner on it, it must have been broken today. It didn't simply fell on its own, just one mystery on top of another. Let's add both to the evidence. Club cleaner. Golf club cleaner found in Chandra's chest of drawers. It's used to polish and clean golf clubs. Camera. A small broken camera found in Chandra's chest of drawers. It was broken today, and there are traces of golf cleaner on it. Dust markings show it may have been hidden on top of the wardrobe. Did I get the window? This room is a bit cold. The window must be wide. It's letting a draft in. Why is it open? Not open. I have no idea. Press the window. Okay. Wow, did I just not... An open window in Chandra's room. Why would you leave it open on such a cold day? For a maid. There sure is a lot of cat fur in here, especially around this wardrobe. Wonder what's inside. What the... Aha! You finally found me! I've been waiting here forever. Now hand over your badge, Miss Detective. You were in here the whole time? Hang on, you know her already? Of course. She's... Fi! My name's Fi. And this is my cat, Toasty. Fi Eubank, age 10, birthday November 19th. Occupation not available. The daughter of the Eubanks, she's playful, somewhat rambunctious, an avid lover of hide-and-seek. She's extremely attached to her cat Toasty and takes him with her wherever she goes. Nice to meet you both. My name's Justina. I'm here to help out with the investigation today. Not the right button. Toasty, age 4. Birthday March 17th. Occupation cat. The orange cat of... That's not an orange cat. Of the Eubank family. He sheds like crazy and leaves large clumps of fur wherever he goes. So this is the Eubank's cat? He's super cute. I think he likes you, miss. So, why exactly does she want your badge, detective? I may or may not have promised to play hide-and-seek with her this morning, and I bet my badge on it. Turns out she's really hard to find. Have you really been in here this whole time? Yep, and since you never found me, I won! Now give me your badge! But I did find you! No, you didn't. The green lady found me, so it doesn't count. She takes hide-and-seek very seriously. Hey, let's worry about the badge later, okay? Right now I want to ask you a couple of questions about today. Okay. Well, Tusty and I are really tired, so we're having trouble remembering things. You could jog our memory with some money. You want us to pay you? Father tells me that information is worth more than gold, so I'm not going to talk to you for free. I can't believe I'm being extorted by a kid. Detective, what do we do now? Hold on. I've got an idea. I'll tell you what, Fi. How about we play a little game instead? A game? We're listening! You answer all our questions honestly and Justina will give you whatever you want. But if we catch you lying, I get to keep my badge. Deal? Hang on, I didn't agree to that. Hey, I already put my badge on the line. Take one for the team. Alright, fine. We hope this kid is bad at lying. So, how does that sound to you? 5? Deal, what do you want to know? I don't remember hearing about her at all at the police report. In the police report. I wonder if she saw anything. Let's start from the beginning. Where were you yesterday when the robbery happened? Ha! That's easy. You better get ready to give us the piggyback ride of a lifetime. My back is already aching from the thought. I really hope Detective Swift knows what she's gotten us into. Well, before the police came, Sandra wanted to play hide-and-seek. Testy and I decided to hide in the kitchen. I waited there for a while, but by the time I came out, all the police were there. Sandra never found us, so I won. I see. I've got to spit a lie for the sake of my spine. Fi statement. Fi claims she was playing hide-and-seek in the kitchen during the robbery. She was never found by the time the police arrived. Wallpaper. Some of the wallpaper is peeling. Yeah, I noticed that earlier. We should check it out. Leave no stone unturned. But what if we make it worse? It's just wallpaper. We can fix it up. Alright. Oh my. Look behind the paper. I found a small hole. I think this must be some kind of storage space. Do you see anything in there? Looks like a filing drawer. There's a bunch of important documents inside. What do you mean? Insurance paperwork, medical documents, Chandra's passport. It's all properly labeled. Hang on, there's something missing here. I can see a spot for a file, but there's nothing inside. I'll note this down. Passport. Chandra's passport, which was found in a small storage space hidden behind her wall. She seems to have stored other important documents here, but something next to it was taken. That missing spot. We should check this for prints. You won't believe this. Chandra's prints are here, but there's another set of prints too. Whose? Mr. Eubank himself. Wait, how did you identify those prints so quickly? I carry a small device for it. It holds a small database of prints that it can quickly check against. We got a sample of everyone's prints earlier. These prints are pretty fresh too. I'd say they were left today. Science can tell if fingerprints are fresh? It's not science, the paper's still sticky. those are stopped it from being exposed for too long. So it had to have been peeled today. If the fingerprints are on the sticky side, that means it showed up today. Wow, she knows her stuff. Owen's fingerprints. Fingerprints belong to Owen Eubank, were found in Chandra's bedroom on the sticky side of her peeling wallpaper. They were left today. 2 kinds of evidence from 1 clue. Nice work! Discover the reason why Owen Eubank. Okay. Yeah. What's wrong? It's just, I was here earlier. I didn't bother to check behind this wallpaper. I could have found this. But you found those prints, and you noticed the missing file. If you hadn't come here, no one would have found it. What's this song called? Confession, Truth Revealed. Confession. She's confessing. But we did find it. It's a 2-person job. Let's just keep investigating. Okay. I should talk to her about this after the case. This painting looks so sad. The rodents are crying out in pain. Crying out in pain? Yes, look at the one on the far back. Its side was chopped off. A chip that size could only be missing because of human activity. That or the artist just didn't notice. Of course the artist noticed. Every detail in a painting like this is deliberate. Every brushstroke, every line. You sound like you're an artist yourself. No, I'm terrible at it. My parents are artists, though. Sorry for getting a bit carried away there. Don't worry about it. You're cute when you get all fired up like that. Let's move on. Homosexuals. This bed looks so bare with only that thin sheet. I expected a bit more from a maid. She must not have made her bed this morning. Sounds like she was rather busy. I can make my bed in under a minute. So what's your excuse? A minute? My personal record is 36.13 seconds. What's yours? I can't remember the last time I made my bed before work. I must have forgotten. How about I just add the bed to evidence for now? Bed. The bed in Chandra's room. Where she sleeps at night. It's missing its sheets, leaving it quite bare. What a quaint phone. Hang on, it looks like it's damaged. The receiver's cracked. Perhaps someone dropped it? There are even tiny bits of plastic on the floor. Maybe. Let's add it to the evidence. Chandra's telephone. The telephone in Chandra's room. The receiver has been damaged, with chipped bits of plastic found on the floor. Do you mind if I pet Toasty? Go ahead. He's really soft. Toasty used to live outside. He'd always come to say hi to us. I'm glad Toasty has a new home. My neighborhood has more stray cats than I can count. You should adopt one of them. I hated seeing Toasty without a home. I'll think about it. I don't really like the idea of trying to grab one of those feral cats off the street. Should have got me an achievement. Doing it again. There it is. Pet the cat. Ask the pet Toasty the cat. No, not what I meant to do. No! What the fuck? Why do you want Detective Swift's badge? So Toasty can become Detective Toasty! He's a cop who doesn't play by the rules. Fine, cops are supposed to follow the law, not break it. Detective Toasty should set a good example. That's boring. We like our way better. Fine really is just a kid. Okay, well, before the police came, Shanty wanted to play hide and seek. Toasty and I sat hide in the kitchen. We were there for a while, and by the time I came out, all the police were there. Chandra never found us, so I won. Okay, I can't do this yet. April 16th, kitchen. Seems a pair of red and green power peppers under my pot. Oh, detective, you're back.
Mr. Curry! I'm back with the newest member of the police's, Reggie Garden.
I'm Justina Smith, the green bell pepper?
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Oliver Curry, personal chef to the Eubank family. Tell me, detective, do you have any news on Chandra? Unfortunately not. She's still recovering. Thankfully, it's not life-threatening.
I can't believe someone would attack her. Could y'all give her this box of food when you see it?
Oh. Y'all. Could y'all give her this box of food next... when you see her next... No.
Could y'all give her this box of food when you see her next?
She didn't eat any breakfast this morning, and that hospital food isn't even fit for rats to eat.
Couldn't he just bring her the food himself? Well, whatever. I'll just take it. I read the report from yesterday, but you didn't come up. Oliver Curry, age 29. Birthday December 5th. Occupation chef. The Eubank's personal chef. He's a big fan of vegetables and healthy food. He carries his frying pan sherry everywhere he goes. Where were you during the robbery?
I was on vacation up until yesterday.
I was gone for the past few days to visit my parents.
It took a whole day of travel just to get back here. I arrived about an hour after the robbery. We checked his claims this morning and he only showed up after the robbery.
Speaking of this morning, where were you when Chandra got attacked?
Why do you ask? He's just doing a routine investigation.
Well, I already told you all of this, but I'll say it again. I spent most of the day cooking. Chandra came here this morning to bring the family their breakfast. After that, I stayed here in the kitchen cleaning until I heard she was attacked. The police had already found her in the trophy room by then.
Oliver statement. Oliver claims he was in the kitchen during the attack. The police found Chandra before they arrived at the scene. I'd like to understand.
Stop staring at me, you overgrown side dish. Why don't you be guilt-tripped into eating my veggies?
I see you have taken an interest in my salad.
Oh, yeah, it looks tasty. As tasty as a salad can be.
The finest, of course, for the Eubanks. Anything less than I would be no different than a greasy fast food cook.
Better not tell him about my high school job. Oh, wow, this is some fancy wine. Let's see. Our winery started over here 50 years ago by a pair of brothers with nothing except 2 cows and a dream.
Cows?
They worked hard growing the best ingredients in order to deliver the finest taste to your mouth. If you want quality, always look for the 2 cow logo. Impressive!
Ow.
But I still don't know what kind of wine this is. I really like this painting. The countryside landscape looks so peaceful with a muted color palette.
My mom paints as a hobby. This was a gift from her, so I could be reminded of home.
You from the country?
Yep, a small town called Appleton. Okay, I should give him a southern accent. It's a farming town way out to the east. The Eubanks didn't care. They hired me off my food alone. A lot of those wealthy folks treat us like we're blessers, just because we're from the country.
Well, the Eubanks seem quite nice, at least. That's a lovely bouquet.
They are? No, I like the other voice better. They are yellow poppy flowers. Mrs. Eubanks says they represent optimism.
Just like hummingbirds.
She loves to be optimistic, so those are her favorite.
They're very pretty. I should buy some for my room. I wonder what's in here.
Don't open that!
Eep! Sorry, what's in there anyways?
It's cat food. The Eubanks got some while I was away. I can't stand the smell of that stuff.
Surely it can't smell that bad.
Well, it does. It doesn't help that I am allergic to cats.
So why keep the food here, then?
The Eubanks don't know that I'm allergic, and I don't want to cause a fuss. They wanted it in here, and so it stays in here. The job is important to me. Oh. Well, the Eubanks want a cat, and I don't want them replacing me over it. Thankfully, Mrs. Eubank has no cat policy in the kitchen. I'd be as red as a tomato otherwise.
Mouse is dry as fuck. Fuck! Sorry.
Is this? Yes, okay. Good.
Well, why don't you look for a place to work without any cats around? Work doesn't grow on trees. I applied to hundreds of places before I landed this job. I wouldn't let a single cat take that away from me. Oliver's allergy. Oliver is apparently extremely allergic to cat fur, so he avoids contact with the Eubanks cat. Luckily for him, no cats are allowed inside the kitchen. What's this hood for? It captures smoke and grease from the stove and carries them out of the kitchen. Oh really? I've never seen one. Oh sad, the smell of grease must be dreadful in your kitchen. I'm used to it. Food is food after all. I can't stand it. It makes the kitchen smell awful. That itself has it.
Depending on where you live, it might be required by law.
But it's another case of the landlord forgetting to tell me. A whole day to travel. That must have been exhausting. It certainly was. But no matter the distance, they're my family. Then why work here? Couldn't you work closer to your family? They would have forced me to work in the family business. No, Sherry and I are much happier here. Sherry? My frying pan. She's my most trusted companion. I take her everywhere I go. Your name's a frying pan. Right, so what exactly is your family's business? They run a restaurant back home. Not much artistry there, everything is fried. Yeah, I'm free to make anything I wish. Don't the Eubanks decide what you cook? They might decide their meals, but how I prepare them is entirely up to me. My creativity runs free in this kitchen. I see. All this talk about food is making me hungry. Should add this frying pan, I mean Sherry, to the evidence. Sherry, Oliver's favorite frying pan. He carries it with him everywhere. Sounds like Mr. Eubank is a good boss. He's a wonderful boss. Such a joy to cook for. When he's hungry, he never minces his words, never hums and haws. No, he always knows exactly what he wants. Sounds reasonable to me. I'm lucky to have a boss as kind as him. Not all of them are like that. Many personal chefs get treated poorly. They're seen as expendable. Sandra and I, on the other hand, have been treated well by Mr. Eubank. You've been rather quiet, sir.
Well, I'm glad to hear he does the bare minimum for his employees.
Do you have a problem with Mr. Eubank?
I do, but not because he's a bad boss.
Why then?
I have my reasons.
You should go meet him yourself, Justina. He's usually in his office upstairs. Yes? Then let's go pay him a visit.
I suppose we need a statement. Well, you can head there whenever you're ready. Okay, I do want to finish out the... Not here. The bedroom area. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. That's a lot of evidence. Allergy or statement? Yeah. Vi, we already spoke to Oliver. You said cats aren't allowed in the kitchen. You couldn't have hidden there with Toasty. You did? How would he know? He wasn't here. He went on some trip. That's true. How can we prove Toasty wasn't... That's true. How can we prove that Toasty wasn't there? Well, Trap, there's gotta be a way. I just have to think. Can I prove Toasty couldn't have been in the kitchen? Here's the proof.
Why, Toasty likes to shit a lot, doesn't he? In fact, everywhere he goes, he seems to leave a trace of it. But I don't remember seeing any sort of cat fur in the kitchen. If you really had hid there with Toasty... Do 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 do. There would have been cat fur all over the place. And poor Mr. Curry would have been sneezing like crazy. Fine! You win. I wasn't in the kitchen. You can keep your stupid badge. I didn't want it anyways. Good work. Justy, my badge is safe. Justy? So, Vi, if you weren't in the kitchen, then where were you hiding? Toasty can't remember. This again? Think, Justina. There's gotta be some way to figure out where she was. Evidence that shows where Vi and Toasty were. Do I have that? Okay. Vi, we found your cat fur. We found cat fur in the trophy room. Detective Swift said she found it yesterday, and it was no more than an hour old. So I think you and Toasty were hiding in the trophy room when the robbery happened. But... Okay. I was hiding in there, but you can't tell anyone. Why didn't you tell the police about this? I'm not supposed to go in there, and Toasty isn't either. I didn't want to get in trouble. If Father found out, he'd try to take Toasty away. I couldn't let Toasty go back in the wild. I need you to tell us about what happened yesterday. It'll help us find out what happened to Chandra. Do you promise I won't get in trouble? We promise. Well, I heard Chandra and someone else there. I think they were taking stuff out of the safe. I got really scared. I told Oliver about it, and he always knows what to do. Hang on. Oliver knew? He never mentioned that. I was scared about what might happen to Chandra. Father started being really mean to her, and I thought Oliver could help her. Oh no. You don't think... Let's not jump to any conclusions yet. We'll make a note of this for later. Thank you, Vi. You helped out a lot. And so did you, Toasty. Can I go get a piggyback ride as thanks? Yeah, can't you? Don't encourage her! Vi's confession. Vi was actually hiding at the crime scene during the robbery. She told Oliver about Chandra's involvement in the robbery. April 16th, 12:45 p.m. Office. Forget the foyer, this is the real lion's den. Detective, maybe we should...
Good afternoon, Mr. Eubank. I'm back.
Too late.
Detective. Have you finished dealing with our little rat problem yet?
Rat problem?
The scurrying, thieving rat in my home. We've dealt with the thief, but we are on other matters. This is my assistant, Justina Smith. Justina, this here is Owen Eubank, founder and CEO of Eubank Investments. An assistant? I didn't know you were a detective of... prestige.
Hey, I'm not a trophy.
She wanted to tag along to see her pro at work. We're here to find out more about the attack on Chandra. I'm sorry to say, but I won't be of much help in the matter.
Why not? This is your house, isn't it? Surely you know what goes on here.
If you must know, Miss Smith, I only saw Miss Leah during breakfast, and we hardly spoke at all. I have no idea what happened after that. Now, I'm really quite busy right now, and I don't have time for all these inane questions.
Real helpful, this guy. Clearly the window isn't going to look through itself. Owen Eubank, age 35, birthday June 9th, occupation CEO, location Owen's office. Founder and CEO of Eubank Investments. He made his fortune in real estate investing. He's got an intimidating presence.
Nevertheless, we still need to record your statements. Just give us a few sentences and we won't bother you again. You officers are always such a bother. Fine, but let's make it quick. Around 7:30 this morning, I went down to the dining room to have breakfast with my family. Miss Leah came to serve us the food, and that was the only time I saw her. After that, I went straight back to my office, where I remained for the rest of the morning. Not long after, you all showed up and told me Miss Leah had been attacked. Owen Eubank's statement out of the case file. Owen claims to have had his breakfast with his family, where he saw Chandra. Afterwards, he claims to have gone directly to his office, where he remained until the police arrived. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Eubank. We'll need to have a look around and ask you a few more questions, and then we'll be out of your way. Miss Assistant, let's get to work.
Right. There are quite a lot of history books here.
History is a wonderful thing. It defines who we are, and yet we can only ever experience it once. For example, this book that I'm currently reading. It's about our currency system and how it got its name. Alms, as I'm sure you know, is anything donated to people living in poverty. When the first mint started producing the currency, the government started a publicity campaign to persuade the public. So they mentioned how using the currency benefited the public. It was as if the government was providing alms to everyone. The name stuck around, and to this day our money is called alms. It's truly marvelous.
It certainly is. This is what I get for sleeping through history class. What's this? A guide to taking care of monocles? I didn't know they actually wrote books on this.
A monocle is a gentleman's best friend. It would be a crime to not keep it clean. Actually, Mr. Eubank, a gentleman's best friend is his hat. You are factually incorrect.
Gentleman's best friend? Doesn't your wife wear one as well?
Hers is a simple accessory. Mine is a prescription. I can't see with my left eye without it. Foreshadowing is a narrative device.
I don't know which of those statements surprises me more. Let's see what's on his computer. Is this a video game? Melody Man 2?
Stop snooping around.
Sorry, but I have to ask. Why would a man of your age be into video games? Justina, what the fuck?
I'm only in my 30s. It was there when Melody Man started fighting for everlasting music.
I see. Guess even Owen had a childhood.
Justina, adults can play video games.
This is an expensive lamp. Looks like the price tag is still on it.
Is that a reference to Case 2 of Ace Attorney? 1.
This thing is worth more than my entire month's salary.
Be careful around that. I already had to replace that lamp once.
What happened?
That nuisance of a cat came running in here and knocked it over.
The whole lamp? The cat must be all muscle.
If it were up to me, that cat would never have stepped foot in this house.
What stopped you?
My wife. She was determined to take that cat in. Once that woman sets her mind on something, nothing can stop her.
I see. Mr. Eubank, I understand that you asked Chandra to clean one of your golf clubs today. May I ask why?
A friend of mine wanted to borrow it for an upcoming tournament. Since those are my luckiest clubs, he hoped it would give him an edge. He was supposed to come today, but we had to reschedule.
Yeah, I bet. Seems like he asked Chandra to clean it by chance. Mr. Eubank, I was reviewing the case file for the robbery this morning. I have to ask, why does Chandra know the code of the safe?
Do I need a reason?
Well, no, it's just odd.
If you must know, it's because she's a trusted employee. She did a lot of the accounting work. Giving her the code made things easier for the both of us. Does that answer your question?
Yes. This doesn't add up. If he's embezzling money, then why would he trust Chandra? Did he have some reason to believe he'd keep it a secret? I should go for a statement again.
7:30, I went down to the dining room to have breakfast with my family. So they came to serve us food, and that was the only time I saw her. After that, I went straight back to my office where I remained for the rest of the morning. Not long after, you all showed up and told me Monsieur had been attacked. Hold on. Yeah, after he went straight to his office. Owen's fingerprints. Would it be this? Yep.
Mr. Eubank, as part of our investigation, we searched Chandra's room. Inside, we found a small hidden filing cabinet. If you were in your office all day, then why did we find your prints there?
Why, I must have touched it some other time.
That drawer was covered behind freshly peeled wallpaper. Those prints had to have been left today.
You can't be serious. This is an outrageous invasion of privacy. Who authorized you to start dusting my house for fingerprints? We have the right to test for fingerprints as part of our investigation, so long as we have just cause. Now, you can either confess here or we can do this at the station. Is this really how you treat innocent bystanders? Only the ones who are lying. Now, start talking. I needed to speak to Miss Lear over a delicate matter. I went there for that. If you just give me a moment, I can explain all your worries away. No one could have known she was in a room. Me visiting her is unrelated to this assault. That's why I kept my visit to myself. It was all just a massive coincidence.
I should listen to his statement again. He might be lying. Again.
Leads. We have one lead. Investigate the office. No one could have known she was in a room. If there's anything related, that's why I got this. Aha! I think.
I don't think this is really relevant here. I think I'll let off on this for now.
What's your statement? That's not Chandra. This is her bedsheet.
There's a way someone could have known. We also found a camera in that room. Before it was broken, someone had been spying on her. That person could have been you. I don't know what you're talking about. I never put any camera in there.
You know that Chandra worked with the thief and that you were suspicious of her. You should have reported it to the police.
It was an internal matter. I needed to deal with it myself.
This is beginning to sound like a clear motive for assault.
How dare you! You can't possibly presume I attacked her.
Why else did we find your fingerprints in that room? Why else would you have been spying on her?
I went into that room, but not to attack Miss Lear. There was something important in there that I needed. Once I had it, I left. I have a witness who can verify as much. Oliver came out of her room. Oliver was in there? He didn't tell us that. What was he doing there? I didn't ask. He just said he wasn't there. And that he left in a hurry.
So, tell me, just what were you looking for in that room?
That's none of your business, Detective.
That's fine, I already know the answer. This morning our thief told us something very interesting. She mentioned that the charity money was wrongly calculated. I think Chandra had proof of it, so I'd wager a guess you took it, and then tried to end her life to tie up the loose ends.
I would never harm her. That charity money was perfectly calculated. I have no grounds to doubt that.
So what are you hiding from us? Let's hear it!
I'm a fool to take the word of some common thief over my own, especially without a smidge of evidence to back it up.
An innocent woman is being charged with attempted murder. Any decent human being would want to help her.
That wretch stole from me, filled my home with police officers, and you think I should help her? I have no sympathy for her. She's getting what she deserves.
You can say that to her face after I drag you back to the station.
Detective, you're taking this too far. He's right, we don't have any proof of any of this. Escalating things is only going to cause more problems. Seems your little assistant here has more sense than you. I will have your job for this, Detective. One phone call to the Chief of Police and I'll ensure you never work in the city again.
Let's go, Justina. We'll solve this case ourselves.
I can't believe him. We're going outside right now. Owen's confession. Owen admits to having entered Chandra's room close to the assault in order to take something. He claims to have seen Oliver leave her room and that Chandra was not present. Detective, what's gotten into you?
I'm sorry you had to see that. I should have handled things better.
You're right, you should have. Do you have any idea how much trouble you've gotten us in? Did you hear what he said in there? You could lose your job over this.
I stand by what I said. He knows more than he's letting on.
Maybe so, but that's no reason to accuse the man of attempted murder.
You can't reason with his kind. Being nice to them will only let them take advantage of you.
His kind? What, guys with monocles?
They're rich. They're people who have enough money to change the world, but would rather hoard it all to themselves. They'll do anything to cling on to their power, no matter who they have to hurt in the process. That's why he'd embezzle all that money. If bringing him down means I lose my job, then so be it.
If he's so wealthy, why would he risk embezzling even more money?
Because he can.
Well, I think you're wrong. You have no reason to think he's a bad person. Sure, he was a little rude, and he did lie to us. Twice. But I bet there's more to him than that.
You're naive, Justina. But you're right. I shouldn't have acted the way I did. It's just, the Klaus orphanage is very important to me. I let that cloud my judgment. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted, but why is the orphanage important to you?
That's a story for another time. We have a case to solve.
Right, I think it's time we pay a visit to Mr. Curry. Oh, we got a bunch of people we can talk about. You're pretty friendly with that chef.
A wise detective always befriends the cook. That way you get the best snacks.
So it's all just for the food?
Not just the food, Miss Assistant. I was hoping you might have seen something. When I found out he was away doing a robbery, I crossed him off my list of suspects.
I see. So you befriended him to get information. Clever.
Bingo! Only afterwards did I try his cooking.
I'm taking my compliment back. You and Detective Swift are pretty different. If I were to paint you two, I'd use oil paint for you and watercolors for her.
Sorry, but your analogy is lost on me.
I mean, you're very patient and methodical, but she's very intense and prone to fly away.
I still don't get it.
Oh, never mind. Sir, were you aware that Vi was in the bedroom?
Nope. I didn't arrive until after Sophie played hide and seek with her. I figured she could find her on her own.
She almost lost her badge. You should have helped.
But she didn't, did she, Miss Assistant?
I guess.
What must I do cooking? Sandra came in this with the beginning. After that, I stayed in the kitchen. Wait a minute. Okay. What does Owen... Confession? Yeah, it's gonna be his confession.
Mr. Curry, we spoke to Mr. Eubank. He told us that he saw you coming out of Chandra's room this morning.
He did? Is that true?
I am sorry, Detective, but I refuse to answer that. You refuse? I won't speak to either of you without a lawyer.
I see. Then we'll have to do this the hard way. Mr. Oliver Curry, you're under arrest for the assault and battery of Chandra Lear. You'll be coming back to the station with us for questioning. You can speak with an attorney once you're there. Miss Assistant, let's head out.
Right. What's going on? Oliver, where are they taking you?
We're taking him in for questioning. He's refused to speak to us any longer, and so we have no choice but to arrest him.
Is that so? You come to my house to go through all of my things, and now you're trying to arrest my staff? Oliver, don't say another word to them. I'll meet you at the station. Huh? Oliver is a trusted member of this household. I'll see his defense through. Ferris, please, you don't have to do this. I know what I'm doing, Oliver. My husband told me the things you said to him, Detective. Hold on. What the fuck?
Okay.
I know what you're trying to do. You came into my house and threatened my husband, and now you want to pin this crime on my chef. I'm thinking it's time someone put you in your place. She stormed off in a rage.
Get ready, Miss Assistant. This is only the beginning. We still have a long day ahead of us.
Headed back to the station, Mr. Curry in tow. Feedback was silent. Nobody wanted to speak or knew what to say. I didn't know what to think. Did Mr. Curry attack Chandra? If so, why?
End of Case 2, Part 1. Okay. So I guess I'll have to save it. Those parts. But I will see you all next time when we start the interrogation of the chef Oliver. What's his last name? Curry, I think. Yeah, Oliver Curry. See you all next time when we interrogate this man. Bye bye.